So we'll break in a second. You guys going to ask Mark a quick question, but I want to say, in wrap up, I want to say we've been talking a lot about the importance of supporting artists, right? We talk about buying merchandise at shows, buying albums and stuff like that. And that's really, really important. It's also fundamentally important, I would argue, to support journalism. So just like we want to keep this community, this part of our society going, and valuable contributing members, so are journalists. And as we've talked about earlier, fewer and fewer venues, right? You've heard how having intrepid reporters and investigative reporters, right, is helpful for catching things like not putting the right kind of sediment on your levees, right? We have a member of Congress right now from New York who apparently can't say anything true and yet was elected, partly because there wasn't as much scrutiny, right? There are direct consequences to not having a robust reporting, news gathering, news sharing, particularly investigative stuff, right? The national stuff seems to be, I wouldn't say great, but is kind of okay. But our local stuff is where we're really losing that. We're losing that. So one thing, just like you guys should go support these bands and all that kind of stuff, which is great, you should also be subscribing at least to your local news source, wherever the town, et cetera, you live in. And so that's one thing you can think about. Support climate change policies, all this kind of stuff. Also support the folks that are helping us interpret this and understand this and point out the important things that we don't have time to go look, right? That's their job. We're out busy working. They're going to the State House and to all these places and doing it for us. So I would ask you guys to think about that. Do you want to say anything about it?
Yeah, so I will tell you that our goal as a newspaper is to grow our online presence to the point where the online presence itself, and we have subscriptions for online, where it will pay for our newsroom. We were well on our way to doing that when COVID hit, and then on top of that, Facebook changed how they handle our news, and that has really hit us bad. But we're still making, we're still doing pretty well. This paper is in an odd situation because we have 4 environmental journalists full-time, plus a couple of other reporters who are covering environmental stories as part of the feeds. And there are no other, I don't know anywhere else in the United States that's doing that right now because of the problems with the industry. We're lucky we have a private, we got a guy that owns the building there who has decided it's important to do this. And that's not what's happening nationwide. Unfortunately, I'm seeing what's happening with the Gannett newspapers are pulling back. Our Gannett newspaper in Lafayette, where we actually have a bureau, our bureau is bigger than our newspaper now. We've got maybe 7 in our bureau and 2.
Yeah.
And it's just nuts. And I don't know the answer to it.
Well, it's partly you guys subscribe. You guys should join.
When you go online and you hit that wall, and they say, "Well, you need to pay." Think about paying. Make believe it's Spotify.
Awesome. Well, let's thank Mark, guys. That was fantastic.